Doing alright. How are you, Smock, on this fine, chilly Canadian day?
Cold? It's not. No, it's not that bad. It could be worse.
Yeah, we had a little bit of snow, at least over here in this neck of the woods, but I don't think these guys are actually anywhere remotely near Canada, so we're gonna ignore that fact and say they're hopefully nice and warm on a beach somewhere. That would be the life, playing HoN on a beach. I would really like to do that, I think.
That would be the dream right there. That's where we would all like to be, is playing HoN on a beach. The nice margarita.
Not a fan of the margaritas myself, but as you were saying, what's up with the lack of tags on this game? But I do, looking at Team WAHL here on the Hellborn, I do notice a nice addition to their team, Mr. Revy, as I do remember back at the DreamHack, these two teams of WAHL and Druids went head to head, and Revy was the captain of Druids at the time. He's no longer there. He's with WAHL now, so it's always fun and a pleasure to cover Revy's games. So a little bit of drama, a little bit of fun, and so this is Team Mind that we're up against? Is that what we're going with?
It's
No,
Team
it's
Ice.
ice.
Oh, okay. Sure. Team Ice, Team Jaw. Let's just call it Team Jaw. I like Jaw. He's a good guy.
Sucking up to Ja.
Well, everyone needs to
Yeah,
know who
it
he
looks
is,
like
right?
a lot of ringers right now, but yeah. So we'll see we'll see how this turns out. But the bands have come out: Andromeda Bombardier, Bubbles, Dr. Repulsor, Electrician, and Pharaoh. What do you think of those?
Andromeda as a ban, I guess, I don't know, I haven't really seen her in a game in the last few games. I've seen maybe she's starting to drop off the map, but as a ban, I mean, that's a very strong support here you take out of the running if you are going to be running that tri-lane. So without her, I mean, the other big signature hero there would be like Glacius or Witch Slayer. But without that Andromeda, I guess somebody really doesn't want to go up against that. Bombardier and Bubbles really don't make too much of a surprise to me here. They're kind of almost standard bans these days. The Dr. Repulsor, again, I'm up to 2 games now in a row without him, and that's probably going to go on for another 30 or 40 games before people finally start letting me see him in a game or not. Electrician ban might be because of Ice, because when they went out to the Digital Youth Awards, they had Breezed, or however you want to say his name, playing that electrician.
Prized.
Bryce, thank you very much. He was playing that electrician to very, very skillful degree. Who actually banned that electrician? It was WAHL. So I don't know. Is Bryce hiding behind a name here, do you think?
It's possible. That's the only reason I could see for that ban. Interesting though, we do have another Sandwraith pickup. We saw him in the last game, which is completely unrelated because it was not these teams. But he did not fare very well in the last game. But it's always interesting to see a Sandwraith. He kind of either makes a very big impact or none at all. So it will be kind of interesting to see how that turns out. But Thunderbringer, no surprise pickup for Ice. They do like running their Thunderbringer. And Witchslayer, as I was saying in the last game, is the most picked in competitive games hero overall. So not surprising, they're a great hero in a tri-lane.
Is that what we're up to now? Witchslayer as the most picked hero. Wow, that's come a long way ever since the retail version of this game. But as you said, I mean, he is kind of another big signature hero for a tri-lane. It's probably going to be throwing him with that Sandwraith. Now, I kind of got to agree, a Sandwraith, I mean, at the very beginning of the game, it almost makes it like a 5v4, but if you can protect him, get him his farm, he's very dominant force near the end of the game, and just something you really cannot mess with. And really, the same kind of commentary here. I have not really seen a Sandwraith played to perfection in a while. Hopefully we'll be in a treat for that. Wretched Hag picked up here for Revy, not really known for his Wretched Hag play, so maybe he's going to swap that out with someone. He's going to take a Chipper for now. I'm hoping to see a Pebbles or a Forsaken Archie. He's really quite known for that kind of deal, and I do see 2 great support heroes there with that Magnus and the Voodoo Jester, so I wonder who they're going to tri-lane for their last pick.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Forsaken Archer, honestly. Running Forsaken, Magnus, Voodoo is pretty, very aggressive tri-lane. And Chipper and Wretched Hag, they've already got their 2 solos there. So, again, stealing Forsaken Archer there is black. And he has to go? I'm confused.
He needs to go potty. I don't know. But taking that Forsaken Archer away from this wall team, I mean, that could be very big for them. As I said, I mean, I don't really see a chipper in the cards here for Revy. It is kind of, I guess, similar to some of those other heroes, but not too sure what they're going to go here. I mean, the suspense is kind of just really big. They've shadow picked now a Kronos, and I think we had a little bit of a discussion at the DreamHack about how Kronos is kind of the lacking carry at this point, but we'll have to see what they go with this. I wonder if they actually have like a whole team set up in mind, or if it's actually been disrupted now between these bands and the Forsaken Archer pickup there on black. But they are going to take that Kronos. We'll have to see how they go. I'm kind of excited to see this game, Smock.
I am very excited, but I've been excited all day. So, like, I woke up this morning and I'm like, yes, we have an awesome tournament today. And it is, well, the first game I watched wasn't all that exciting, unfortunately. It was fairly one-sided, but this does look to be a good game. Interesting Kronos pick. I kind of feel like they were kind of stolen with that Forsaken Archer there, as I was saying. Would have been the great final pickup there, but Legion kind of steal that one out from under them. Behemoth is a great pickup. On the Legion, I meant to say, just giving them a huge teamfight presence that they would otherwise be lacking. So, I don't know. What do you think about the Hellborn team on a whole here?
Well, on a whole, it looks very strong. I mean, we do have a lot of synergies here. The Voodoo Jester and the Magma Stun to support that Kronos, you know, with that mobile leap of his, because I can only assume at this point they're going to tri-lane him. That should be able to give them a lot of good early game pressure. I mean, you can't get too close to these heroes in the melee range, and at the same time Chipper as a solo hero has been proving to be very good with those rockets range, and of course with the tar toss that we saw a little bit ago. He's really accelerated in the scene way up here, and we have a remake, so that looks cool. Great, never mind. I can only assume somebody had to go.
But hopefully we'll not see another remake because of that. We're just waiting for the last pickup, which is Sandwraith, and we finally are gonna get this show on the road. What do you think of the Legion? I think I asked you about the Hellborn already.
Well, the Legion, as I said, with that Sandwraith in play, it's going to be an early game gambit of 4 versus 5. You have to really protect that Sandwraith, get him all those last hits, even throw him some kills if you can, set that stuff up, because if you don't have that mock by 25 minutes, it is probably going to be a very bad mojo game for him, so he really needs to get a lot of farm in. That being said, on the Legion side, who is he going to have for babysitting? It will probably be that Behemoth and the Witch Slayer. I cannot imagine that the Thunderbringer or the Forsaken Archer would opt to go that route, as we do know that Thunderbringer is a great mid, and Forsaken Archer, you know, with those skeletons of hers, she's definitely a very big force to be reckoned with in lane. So we're probably going to see 2 solos like that. I can't imagine anyone here is going to be jungling, and we'll have to see with the Behemoth stun with the Fisher to the Witch Slayer with the Graveyard and the miniaturization. They might be able to start feeding the Sandwraith, you know, a good amount of farm early on, and if we see that, we're probably going to start seeing some snowballing into some very powerful play. But you know, it all hinges on that if.
Most definitely, and I really hope that he does not go Mock of Brilliance, as you mentioned. I much prefer the Nullifier pickup on Sandwraith, as I was talking about last game. It is just so much better. But if you can get an early Mock, that being said, it is lol funny, so maybe we will see that. And I was promised by Jaw, by the way, that we would see some crazy stuff in this game. So if we don't, you guys can bug Jaw about that, because I was promised.
Make sure you say hi to Jaw before you do anything, because he needs to definitely get his name out there. He wants to be really well known around circles. So just make sure you say hi to him and then bug him, because that would go over really well with him.
Yeah, he has a little self-esteem problem and needs that you actually say hi to him every time you see him. So go ahead and start whispering him if you want. If crazy stuff doesn't go down in this game. Hopefully we're gonna get it started sooner rather than later, because we've pretty much been waiting this entire day so far. But this should be a great game, that being said.
Well, we might have been waiting around. It's hitting about the 4 o'clock p.m. range here. I can only imagine what it is over in Europe. But Ja is a Hawaiian, so he's even 5 hours behind me. It's not even noon for him, so he's been up from about the 6 o'clock in the morning range just to get here for these games. That is dedication. Of course, they're probably paying his tab and his bills, but I mean, money's a great incentive as well. We do have the lanes kind of moving out and about now, and it does look like a lot of people are going to be gathering here in this bottom lane, at least 4 of them, maybe a rune gank. What do you think here, Smock?
Yep, we could see some potential very early action going on. Chipper coming out to support, as usually he does. In the bottom we have 4 versus 3 potentially, but you gotta think the Legion are going to be very, very cautious here, knowing that something's up.
I don't know, how did they know that something was up? I mean, I don't think they could have seen this Chronos by now.
They have soldier sense.
Soldier sense, I like that, yeah.
Clearly, because, yeah. And it doesn't look like anything's going to happen. Chronos is going to pick up an Invis rune. And Sandwraith is actually going to go middle, and he's going to be against Chipper. I don't know, maybe he's going to go top. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what's going on with
Well,
the
we were promised something crazy, so we will maybe see something crazy. I don't know what this Sandwraith wants to do either. Maybe they're going to go for a level 1 gank. Look at these wards in the mid with the Voodoo Jester going to be taking them out. So no early advantage for them. And I don't know, we'll have to wait and see as everything solidifies.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually going to have a roaming Magnus with Voodoo Jester babysitting this Chronos. Not a bad idea considering their setup. The tri-lane would have been 2 melee in their tri-lane, and while the other, that would have allowed Forsaken Archer to get a lot of farm. Magnus is now just kind of shadowing this Sandwraith as he's heading up towards the top lane, and it looks like Thunderbringer is going to be taking over middle there, and they're going to run a more traditional 2-1-2.
I'm a little surprised they're actually going to be throwing that Sandwraith out and about, out of a tri-lane. It's going to be very risky, and as you said, Magnus here is kind of just chilling out, keeping vision on what these guys are doing. This might be the first kill, however, as no, I don't think Haig's actually going to jump in there at all. I don't know, killing a level 1 Sandwraith in theory doesn't sound very hard. He's kind of squishy, but I don't know, without the tri-lane there for support, not too sure how well everything's going to go, but the 2-1-2 is in effect, and we will see 0 tri-lanes this game.
Yeah, I do think Magnus is going to be roaming, so they're thinking here is that Sandwraith is going to be able to get a lot of farm against a solo Wretched Hag. Wretched Hag is not able to do enough damage to Sandwraith to keep him off the creep wave. But with Magnus here, he's going to be helping out. He's pulling the lane already. No wards out to block that creep pull.
Well, if you recall, there was a ward in the mid that got counter-warded by this Voodoo Jester, and the other ward is down south at the south rune spawn, just kind of keep a good eye on an Invis rune that nobody really wants to claim. So they did opt to put their wards down south. I guess they were also assuming a tri-lane. I mean, that is the safe thing to assume in this state of the game, and yeah, that just leads to no wards being up top for this counter, and this could definitely lead to a nice early game advantage for the Hellborn, making use of that creep camp.
Yeah, most definitely. Actually, as Chipper's getting caught by a nice stun from Behemoth, and he might, there we go, there's the Bloodlust kill. Great job also blocking from Behemoth there, allowing Forsaken Archer to get that kill and get the 200 extra gold there.
Oh, poor Revy, he died. But he is solo against a lane that affords at least a stun and an immobilize. And as I said, those skeletons with Behemoth Fisher, it could be a very, very tough lane for a solo Chipper. I really do think that they thought that he would be going in a solo lane. But, I mean, at this point, Ice, as I said, something really crazy. A 2-1-2 with a Sandwraith really throws people off guard.
Yeah, and they're trying to set something up here on Witchslayer, but unfortunately Magnus is just going to get auto-attack down and not be able to do anything at the top lane. Meanwhile, in the middle, Thunderbringer's getting caught out by Voodoo, and Chronos getting creep blocked there a bit. Ja cannot be happy, And unfortunately, I don't think that was the craziness that he was alluding to, because he does go down in the middle lane there. Excuse me.
Oh, I get it. It's going to be crazy because Jaw's finally going to die. But yeah, I mean, throwing a Cronus into the mid, especially paired up with the Voodoo Jester, as we do kind of suspect Voodoo Jester has a very powerful auto attack for being a ranged int hero, as I do believe its top base damage